All right, morning everyone. Welcome to an exciting new episode of the Daily High. I'm your host, Tone Vase. Matt McGregor should be back with us either for tomorrow's show or for the end of week show. So he is coming back to the show, but I will hold down the fort one more time today. Let's get some confirmation that the audio is working, video is working, and I will go straight to the charts. All right, hope people watched that presidential debate yesterday. That was really interesting. I may do a show on my own channel to talk about that some more, as that is likely to affect the markets as to how we are going into the next election. All right, chart time. Here we go. Uh, yeah, I guess we should do an episode with Ugly Old Goat to see how his $40,000 prediction has been working out. Yeah, it's working out better than I expected. That's for damn sure. Okay, so my computer restarted yesterday, and every time my computer restarts, it opens my charts with the oscillators because sometimes I forget to look at the oscillators. So because all my charts right now have the oscillators on, let's zoom in and take a look. What is the RSI saying? Well, the RSI is actually on a massive downtrend, pointing to a lower RSI, so that's not good. What about the MACD? The MACD is in a full-blown downtrend as well. We are, of course, looking at the weekly charts here, guys. These are the weekly charts. The MACD is also bearish. What about the CMF? Well, the CMF had a tiny bit of an uptick, but overall, the CMF has also been very bearish. It's coming in from a very high area, and it hasn't even gotten to the oversold area yet. You can think of this as being bullish and bearish. Well, it's bullish that with this big drop that we've had, the CMF never made it into the red. That's bullish, but at the same time, the big downtrend in CMF is bearish. So we can definitely, think of this from two different perspectives. We have volume. Volume is been declining overall, but nothing really to see there. And we have the Fisher distance from EMA, which has been a pretty good indicator. It has given us a bunch of fake outs here at the lows, and it definitely has bottomed out a lot further down than in this area. So to me, this is pretty bearish. So nothing good. Nothing good is coming from looking at the oscillators. The price action is also not spectacular. We had a little bit of a bounce this week. I was not really too high on this, and now we're pretty much back down. Okay, 4-day chart. Give me 1 second. So we are now back below where my exit was to go back to 100% cash. The price is now trending below that. Whenever price trends below that, it means that was definitely the right decision. Whenever price trades above that, well, I get a lot of trolls that, oh, Tone bought the top and he sold the low. Maybe, right? The big difference is I didn't buy the top with my entire account. I bought in partially, and I exited that partially fully. And you better exit there because your other option is down here. Of course, your other option is to hold through everything, which is a good option. And the only time that option fails in holding through everything is when you're in the midst of a big bear market. When it's a choppy market, obviously going in and out will get you in trouble in a choppy market because I like to buy strength, not weakness. However, if we do end up falling to 40,000, that becomes my buy-in zone. Uh, there's no way I'm gonna wait past 40, 41. So if we do get to this MRI support line right here at 42,000, that's pretty much as low as I expect Bitcoin to ever go. Maybe you can get to 39, but at that point, it doesn't matter. Okay. For now, I'm sticking to my cash position. And what am I waiting for? Well, on a weekly chart, I'm waiting for an MRI buy. It'll be unfortunate that this MRI buy will likely come below the moving average. This is the 50 period moving average. It's not ideal. Let me make sure that's the 50. That is the 50. I don't really want to see that 50 period moving average break on a weekly scale. When that happens, things tend to go bad. You can see we held the 50 period moving average back in the summer of 2021, and we broke that moving average in the winter of 21, and that resulted in a year-long bear market that bottomed out in the winter of 22. Not what I want to see happen again. So let's see if we can hold this moving average and go back to the top. Is it possible to hold this moving average and get an MRI buy at the same time? It's possible. The chances of that are pretty low because we are going to need the ninth candle in the in this trend to trade lower than last candle's close. And last candle's close was 54.9, which is $1,000 lower than we are now. And by then, the moving average would be higher. And we need to trade lower and then rally back up. It's possible, but it's very likely we're going to close below that line. You know, closing below a moving average is not a big deal. To me, a big deal is when you trade an entire candle below the line. Okay, I'm not going to look at the oscillators on the 4-day chart. Let's go straight to the daily chart. Nothing spectacular on the volume. Nothing really to manage there. I still keep an eye on the BitMEX funding rate. I know I should be using another one, but it's starting to favor the bulls a little bit more, which I find interesting. What about the RSI? The RSI has reset a couple of times, and it's still in this declining phase. There might be one more. The RSI tends to get very low on the dailies before it bottoms. RSI tends to get into that 20% range, not just below the 30% range. So maybe one more big drop in the daily RSI. The MACD actually has a little bit of sign of bullishness, but it hasn't crossed over yet. So until it crosses over, we're still going to be skeptical and assume this is still in decline, even on the daily trend. Nope, already looked at the RSI. And the CMF looks very, very ugly. It's a very ugly CMF. We are declining here on CMF. Not as bad as we were in the summer, but let me see if we have divergence. The price was higher in the summer. We had the big crash in late August. The price is trending higher. Yeah, the big crash in the market did not create a big... The big fall in CMF came in July. That's August. The big fall in CMF actually... Wait, what am I missing here? Came in July over here. That was the big fall in the CMF. Interesting. Okay. And the big crash came in August. Oh, keep doing the wrong thing. Here is August. This was the big crash. We're now lower than that. The CMF has given us a lot of mixed signals here. But it's not looking good. Today is a pretty rough day. I always saw this as a dead cat bounce. I thought it could make it into a moving average, but it didn't even make it to a moving average. That means that this bounce was even weaker than it could have been. This shows a lot of weakness here. And we'll see how the stock market is doing. Oh, it's 10 a.m. right now. Let's see that 10 a.m. reversal. Let's go to the short-term chart. Let's look at Bitcoin. That's a 1-hour chart. Everything fell apart this morning. I believe that, did the CPI numbers come out this morning? Let's go and take a look. Was preoccupied with the debate yesterday. The CPI numbers did come out this morning, and the CPI comes in higher than expected. That is a little surprising. CPI comes in, core CPI comes in at 0.3. CPI comes in at 0.2. That is a little bit lower than expected. Let's go to CPI report. And here it is. So we have 2.5% over the last 12 months, not seasonally adjusted. The index for all times less food and energy increased 0.3% in August, up 3.2% year over year. Okay. So we have this is the August report. Okay, so we have 3.2 and 2.5. One of them is core, one of them is overall. Okay. Comes in a little higher than expected, but not high enough to stop the Fed from lowering the rate. I believe the Fed will still lower the rate. One second. Let me open up your comments. Have a look at your comments. This is not that bad of a CPI. I think the market can definitely rebound here at 10 a.m. Let's go to the stock market and look at the 5-minute chart. Here's our 5-minute chart. We are at 5 a.m., 10 a.m. That's a beautiful reversal candle on the 10 a.m. 5-minute candle. I want to see strength. I would be going long at the break of this candle. Or at the break of current candle, if current candle does not break above and does not go lower. Like if this is an inside candle, if this is a doji candle, I can then lower my entry. I don't guess. I wait for strength and I buy strength and I set a stop loss below the swing low. That's my 10 a.m. strategy. Let's see how Bitcoin is performing. Bitcoin is showing us some strength on this. That's a 1 hour. Hold on. Oh, Bitcoin again. It helped us with the stock market in not yesterday, but the day before. Yesterday was a show with Mark Wood. Bitcoin is showing us a potential bullish trade right now as we're breaking the top of a prior candle. I don't know if I would be executing the strategy on Bitcoin. The stop loss would, of course, be below the swing low. And a bullish entry is taking place right now. I prefer to do this in the stock market than Bitcoin because this strategy used to make me money in the stock market. I've never tried to execute it in Bitcoin. But it would look something like this. Risk is, let's say, $300. So I'm looking for a $300 up move before putting in a break-even stop loss. I prefer it in the stock market. It's just cleaner there. I would like for this candle not to execute me. And then I can set a lower entry above this candle's high. Now, if this current candle goes lower than the prior candle's low, that changes things. And also, if this candle is coming to the last 60 seconds, that also changes things. It allows me to enter earlier. So for now, we'll leave it like this. Let me look at, well, not having a good start to the cycle. Oil. Oil is on a daily MRI buy. I would use the same strategy when it comes to oil. I would be buying the oil futures here with a stop loss below the swing low. I might actually go and do that. I mean, I wouldn't do this in my retirement account. Futures are just too risky. I would do this in my other account because you can't like replenish your retirement account. My stop loss would be below. So this is a swing strategy. You can do this with USO. USO is probably the best representation of an oil ETF. It's still not good, but it's kind of the best we have, I think. Maybe there's a better one. Now, USO is not on an MRI, but that's because I used the oil price instead. Real oil price. This is showing us a red star candle, but I'm going to trust the oil market, the oil futures market. So I do think that oil has a high probability of rising. This is the ETF version. Let me see how similar it looks. Yeah, it looks pretty similar. That was a top in September of 23. It's June of 22. That's September 23. This is, yeah, it's really not the best representation of oil. It's really not. Kind of sucks. The high comes in June 22 here. This is September 23. June 22 was higher. Oh yeah, this is June 22. Oh, because this is the daily and that's the weekly. Okay, that explains my confusion. Okay. All right, yeah, they're somewhat in line. So an oil futures contract is 1,000 barrels of oil. So that means $1 change in one contract is $1,000 change in your portfolio. The risk on this trade right now is $1,300. That's the risk on one contract. You buy one contract, and oil is a 24/7 market. You can always get out at any price you like. Not 24/7, 24/5 market. So That's what I would be looking for. I would probably buy between 2 and, I don't know, 5 contracts or something. And that would be my risk. About $5,000 maximum risk. We are talking about accounts with over $100,000 in it. Otherwise, you're only buying one contract. So yeah, so I would be looking for a buy opportunity here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick one of these. Let's use round numbers. The low of this candle is 65.30. So let's go 65.25. 65.20 is okay for now. And the entry is, let's just do, I'll use round numbers. 66.50. Maybe I can adjust them. 66.50. Let's use round numbers and 25. And what's the target? 69.45 is okay. We'll keep it there. Okay. And we'll see how that performs. Okay, back to the S&P. Oh, that's Bitcoin. Okay, back to the S&P. Where the hell is the S&P? Okay, so no trade got executed. We are running out of time in our 10 a.m. reversal. I would have lowered my entry. See, this was a perfect candle. This candle lowers my entry and it lowers my risk. My risk would have been 5.5 points, which is not that bad. But we keep dropping. So as long as we keep dropping, there's no 10 a.m. reversal. Now the 10 a.m. reversal is good up until 2 more minutes. So if this candle greatly reverses, I would take a stab at this. And remember, the more consecutively down it goes, the more confident I am that the reversal will make me money. Nothing goes perpetually down. Someone is asking how the strategic reserve looking. Surprisingly, the Biden administration is refilling the reserve. I updated the latest data the other day, and I was super surprised. This was the biggest purchase of the year. I don't have a good explanation for this. We can discuss this on my personal channel when we do geopolitics, but this was the biggest buy the Biden administration has done, I think, ever. Ever. This is the Trump administration. Here's the Biden administration. So starting from here, if we do this, and then we look at the max, there it is. 1,764 barrels of, 1,764,000 barrels of oil. And that's what they did last week. So, or 2 weeks ago. That was the largest purchase by the Biden administration ever, and oil prices are still going down. I don't have a good explanation for this, which is another reason why I'm surprised that the oil prices are dropping. The stock market is crashing. Look at that. So I've missed my 10 a.m. purchase window, which I never executed. I would be, Bitcoin. I would be expecting Bitcoin to go down. Watching the S&P, I would have immediately pulled the Bitcoin trade had I entered the Bitcoin trade, because Bitcoin still follows the S&P. So this trade's done. But the S&P is now setting up for a beautiful 11 a.m. reversal, maybe. I don't like the 10:30 area. Not a fan. The S&P on the day is down 1.25%. Yeah, not a very good day for the S&P. I mean, the S&P still has lots of support in this area. I would love to see an MRI buy opportunity on the S&P. Tomorrow we would need to close at the new swing low. Tomorrow's Thursday, and then Friday gives us an MRI buy. That would be interesting. Very interesting. You can see how correlated Bitcoin and the S&P are. We're going down today in the S&P. Bitcoin is dropping hard. These two are also the same day. This giant red candle with a wick. This giant red candle with a wick. Same day. Still very correlated. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll look at a stock or two. Yield curve is still pointing to a lowering of the interest rate. And remember, if the stock market is crashing, the Fed will lower the interest rate. That is guaranteed. Gold is still, consolidating, pulling back. Oil price is down a bit this morning. That's okay. Well, this is a bit of a swing trade. I hate holding futures through the weekend. That could be dangerous. I try not to hold futures through the weekend. I like executing these trades on like Monday or Tuesday and hold them till Friday. Usually a couple of days is enough in the futures market on a swing trade. But if it's USO, then it's, less dangerous. One day there'll be a better representation of the oil. And someone asked for Intel? I don't like it at all. Topped on an MRI, bottomed on an MRI. I have a little red line here, not sure why. But if you extend this slide, you can see when it all fell apart for Intel. This is where the short trades can come in on April 1st or April 2nd or April 8th. Whoa. Oh, these are weekly candles. Sorry. The week of April 1st or the week of April 8th. I'm like, whoa, there was a week-long holiday I didn't know about. Little nice MRI buy. Then it got reversed. You got two red star candles in a row. Intel looks very ugly. I'm going to delete this one. Intel looks bad. On a daily scale, looks like they had bad earnings. And they have now broken below its swing low. Very ugly chart. Daily MRI buy coming up in a few days. But I would not want to hold Intel long. All right, final look at the S&P and Bitcoin, and then we're going to call it a day. I really want to see a little bit of a reversal here on the daily. Nothing. You're getting nothing. I would just keep lowering my... I wouldn't want to go long now. I would wait till 11. If this thing keeps going down into 11, I would be setting up for a monster buy opportunity at 11. Would hate to see it reverse at 10:30 at this point. I want to see this go lower and lower. Right now, we're down 1.36. I want to see this go down at least 1.5%. It's down 74 points. It's very rare that the market goes down 100 points. You can see that this nasty candle right here was down 95 points. This was 3 days ago. September 3rd candle was down 120 points, but it rebounded for about 20 points at least. The low came in at 504, the close 528. Okay, so it did rebound at the end of the day. I mean, 100 points is really pushing it. If we continue to drop into 11 a.m., I would expect a rebound. In fact, I would love to take a look what happened on this candle around 11 a.m. This is September 3rd candle. Let's do a 10-minute chart. Let's go to September 3rd. Right up here. Think that's it. Here is the, right, there was a big gap. September 3rd, Tuesday. We go down, 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 and then bam, 10:50 candle. There's your 11 a.m. Look, no candle crosses the high of the prior candle until right here. The 11 a.m. candle. There's your 11 a.m. reversal. Yes, that's a bullish candle. It never gave you any serious strength. Right there, there's your buy. And even if you bought the breakout of that doji, that still took you 10 points, right? 10 points is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for at least 10 points. So it did it right there within the same candle. That's a trade. That should be $1,000 in your pocket right there. I'm looking for the same thing. Looking for the same thing today, 11 a.m. Oh, we're getting some strength right now. Not enough though. Ah, bad timing. I don't like this 10-20 area. I gotta get going, guys. I can't have these videos go an hour. That's not what this channel is about. But I may risk it here, or I may wait. This is a tough one. Tough call. You guys are on your own. Sorry, if this happened at 10 a.m., I'd be guiding you through it. All right, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next one. All right, bye, guys.